What's up guys, welcome back to Unlimited Reads. My name is Chris and today I'll be doing my book haul that resulted from my book buying tour on Thursday. I had a great time. I visited some really good bookstores and came away with some really good bargains. Now with this haul I've included some recent purchases that I've made that I haven't actually shown on the channel yet, so it'll just make it a fairly decent overall book haul. So let's get right into it. Now firstly, I did mention in part one that I will be taking part in a reading project in June called June on the Range, where all through the month of June you just read Western fiction. Now one author I wanted to really focus on for the reading project is Louis L'Amour. On Thursday I was on the hunt for some Sackett family saga books. Unfortunately I didn't find any, but I did settle for what I did find, and the first title I'll mention is a couple of standalones that I found. Some of Louis L'Amour's more famous ones. We have How the West Was Won, which was very famous, and I think this inspired the movie. I'm not quite sure, but it's a very famous book. And this is the Corgi paperback edition, which the cover art is absolutely stunning and very nostalgic. And I also picked up The Quick and the Dead as well. Now whether this is the same book that inspired the movie, I'm not quite sure, but I really like the movie with Russell Crowe and Sharon Stone, and looking forward to giving this a crack. But again, look at the cover art there. It's another Corgi paperback, and they really knew their stuff on how to do covers back in the 50s. Okay, now I found a standalone one called Silver Creek. This one was published in 1957 and just uses the nice paintings for the cover art, which is absolutely brilliant. And you know, there's something appealing about these old paperbacks. They're just very vintage. The font is very old inside, as you can see, and very small, but will certainly make a very quick read that goes towards my TBR for June. And the other one by Louis L'Amour I wanted to show you, I'm not sure if I've shown this on the channel yet, but one of his famous books is Hondo. Repackaged into this nice little edition, it's called the Lost Treasures edition. So not only is it the novel, but Louis L'Amour's son has also included never before seen content. So he's included in here a couple of typewritten pages of the original manuscript, and he writes an afterward as well. So you just get a little bit of a bonus as part of the package, and they're very attractive little paperbacks. It's just got the green border with the original cover picture on the front, and just nice little blurb on the back. And on the spine it just looks really nice, and I plan on collecting a few more of these because they're just a nice little package. The print is very because they've been reprinted. I think this one was in 2019. They've modernized the print, as you can see here, which is a very modern print. So I'm really looking forward to reading that one as well. Between now and June I will be getting hold of most of the Sackett books. I will find them and buy them so that I've got plenty of material to keep myself occupied throughout the June on the Range project. Now another Western book I got in the last couple of weeks is To Hell and Beyond by Mark Henry. Now for those who don't know, Mark Henry is the pseudonym for Mark Cameron, who is a series contributor for the Jack Ryan series. I've got him coming on the channel hopefully next month, and only recently I discovered that he had written Western fiction, which is very interesting, and I'll be talking to him about this book and about many of his books that he has written. But with this particular book, you can see here a crease, a really big crease on the cover. When I got it, it was pretty disappointing. I got in touch with Amazon. It was sold by a third party. The third party reached out to me on the phone and offered me a partial refund. I think I negotiated about 75% of the purchase price as a refund in order to keep the book, and that was fine. It saved me repackaging it and waiting for the refund to come through until they received the book, and it wasn't a bad deal in the end, so I was happy to keep it, and it'll make a good reading copy anyway. But the two stories in this one are Hard Road to Heaven and The Hell Riders, so will definitely be something to consider for reading in June. Can't wait. All right, now the next one I will show you is a retro paperback of Firefox by Craig Thomas. Now obviously that went on to inspire the really successful movie with Clint Eastwood, and I must rewatch that again at some point. But this came up on my radar because they've recently reprinted the book. and they've got a little sticker on it referring to Top Gun Maverick, so they've been a little bit cheeky there. The publishers have ridden on the coattails of Top Gun Maverick just to boost some sales, but I like this vintage shiny glossy paperback edition. It's very, very attractive. I first read this when I must have been about 15 at the time, and remember enjoying it, and I've been wanting to read it again. And when I saw it on Amazon coming up as a reprint, I thought it really inspired me to go back and read it again, which will happen this year. But it's a very, very attractive paperback, and I think it only cost me a few dollars, so yeah, really, really happy with that. And in part one of the video vlog, I did mention that I'm doing the Agatha Christie reading project this year as well. I did mention that I do have quite a few Hercule Poirot titles, and I needed to get more. And when I went on my book buying tour, I didn't come away with as many as I thought I might have, because one of the bookstores didn't quite have enough of the Poirot books, but I managed to come away with 3, and the first one was the 3-act tragedy in the Fontana 80s paperback version, and these ones are the pan paperbacks, which are actually quite attractive as well. I have The Big Four, and I have Dumb Witness. So, you know, I'm not overall, I'm not disappointed with those ones. They're in pretty good condition, and certainly brings me closer to completing the Poirot books, so that I can actually have them in my collection and ready to go for the project. I'm actually starting the project in February as well, so watch out for that on the channel, but looking forward to reading all the Poirot books if I can this year, if not most of them. Okay, now remember how I said in my reading plans for this year I was going to read Jack London's Call of the Wild and White Fang back to back? I actually came across a bind-up of the two. This is the Wordsworth Classics edition, and because I'm going to read them back to back, it just makes it easier with reading one book instead of two. But it's a very, very attractive edition. Look at this cover. Absolutely sensational. So I picked that up on Thursday and thought, you know, it was only $10, and I thought, look, because I'm reading them back to back, it makes sense for me to read them from one book. So that was a really good buy. Now, I did manage to find a classic that I was after as part of my classic fiction reading this year, and it's high on the list, and that is Ray Bradbury's 451, Fahrenheit 451. Found this really nice version. It has a foreword in there from Ray Bradbury himself from, I think, what year was that? Only recently, I think. Let me just check that for you. 2003 he wrote the foreword to this. So I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a real bucket list read, and I can't wait to cross it off the list. And it's not very thick, and it shouldn't take me too long at all. And I dare say I'll be reading this one in the first half of the year. Alright, now I did plan on reading The Troop by Nick Cutter in October or November, and I remember borrowing it from the library, and it just didn't happen. It just got shuffled to the back of the queue, but I actually picked up a copy of this one on Thursday, which was a very reasonable copy, and I do plan on reading it because Mike over at Mike's Book Reviews has raved about this one. It's got some very confronting themes in it, and yeah, I just can't wait to get stuck into it. So I saw it on Thursday, and I thought I just had to have it. So really, really nice copy of it, actually. Okay, just to try and complete my Skullduggery Pleasant collection, I actually picked up book number 11, Midnight, as well, which I've been after for a while. There's 15 books in the series, so I've only got about 4 more to get now, but looking forward to completing the set, and I'll be starting to read this series this year as well. I read the first book and really, really loved it. They're not overly thick books in the first half of the series, so I plan on moving through them very, very quickly. Okay, now I read at the start of last year, I read No One Gets Out Alive by Adam Neville, and I enjoyed that book, and have been, ever since, I've been open to reading more of his fiction, and I found a really good bargain, another one of his books called Banquet of the Damned. I only paid $1 for this, which is in very, very good condition. No cracks on the spine, very clean and tight pages. I don't think it's been even read, and certainly a good one of Adam Neville's that I'm aware of, and looking forward to getting stuck into this one. May even save it for October as a spooky read, who knows, but certainly very happy to get this one for $1. It was a real bargain. Okay, another bargain I found, I think this cost me about $5. Now, I haven't read Diana Gabaldon before, and the idea of Outlander does fascinate me with the whole time travel themes and everything like that. And I saw this one, the first book, for $5 and had to get it. Now, normally I don't like movie or TV tie-in covers because they date very quickly, but I thought to myself, look, this is $5. If I read it and like it, I'll get the whole box set if I like it. But you know, given that it only cost me $5, I was okay with it being a movie tie-in cover. It's in very good condition, clean and tight, and this was a $20 book from a local Collins bookseller, and I got it for $5. So it's a bargain. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. No harm done. But if I end up liking this series, when I'm going to get to it, I don't know. But if I end up liking this series, I'll end up just buying the whole box set and going from there. So not a bad buy if I do say so myself. Alright, so let's get into some larger fiction that I've come across. Just while I balance this pile here, I don't want all the books to fall down. Okay, so we've got an Australian crime author next. I have really enjoyed his fiction. I am behind. I haven't read the last book, Dust and Dirt, but I picked up Tilt by Chris Hammer, who is a very successful Australian crime author who sets his novels mainly in the Australian outback, and they're fantastic, and whenever I get a chance I will give this one a go. It only cost me $5 as well, so it was a really good bargain. I think you could still get this in the stores for about $16 at Big W or $32.99 from a major bookseller, but got that for $5 and it was a really, really good deal. So, you know, it's got a fair bit of chunk to it. It's about you know, just under 500 pages, and don't know when I will get to it, but certainly it is definitely on the cards, hopefully for this year. Okay, another one here is by Karen Rose. Now, I haven't read Karen Rose for years and years. I've got some of her small paperbacks there, and this one came up on my radar a little while ago, and I was considering buying it. The decision was easy to make for me when I got this one for $5 as well, and that's Quarter to Midnight. It's part of a new series. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but I've wanted to read it for a little while, and now I can. So, you know, the cover attracted me more than anything, just the use of colour there and that sort of thing. But haven't read Karen Rose in years. I plan on reading her again, and I thought, well, why not start with this one, which is the start of a new series. A lot of her series books, they are set in certain towns in North America or cities, and this one is set in New Orleans. So looks to be a good crime novel, and looking forward to reading that at some stage. Okay, now the next one is a omnibus edition of the K. Scarpetta series by Patricia Cornwell. I've wanted to read Patricia Cornwell for quite a number of years, and I came across this one for $1, which is a bind-up of the first 3 books, which is Postmortem, Body of Evidence, and All That Remains. What are we talking about here? We've got 985 pages, but each book is only about 300 odd pages, so they're going to be a fairly quick read. But in order to start the series, how better than with a 3-book omnibus edition? And I might mow through all of them at once. I may just read one, take a break, and come back to another one, and then take another break and read the 3rd one, or I might just go for it and read them all together. We'll see how that goes, but whether it'll happen this year, because my plate is really full, I'm not sure. Alright, now this last large fiction book I want to show you is quite an intriguing one, actually. James A. Michener is on my radar to read this year, and the book I've chosen to read is Centennial. I actually recently purchased an old paperback copy which got put into Goodwill this week, because I actually found a hardback copy of Centennial. Now, This is really interesting because have a look at it. I don't think it's been cracked open at all. It's been sitting on someone's shelf for quite a while, and I thought it's always fun to see if there's an inscription in the book, and there just happens to be an inscription which I'll share with you. I quite like this because it's a little piece of history. Now this inscription is from 1979, and it goes like this: to Martin, with best wishes for Christmas and the new year of 1979. Good reading, love, Auntie Joy and Uncle Harold. Now I can, this is just a theory. Maybe he got the book and it hasn't been read because he might have thought, oh gee, thanks for that, I'll just save that for later and put it on the shelf and not read it. It's a very neat copy. It only cost me what was it, $2 from a Goodwill shop, and it's in superb quality, in superb condition, and I wanted to read the paperback edition but threw it to Goodwill because this one will be an absolute pleasure to read. Hopefully I will get to it in the second half of the year, I'm hoping. But this was part of the options for my reading vlog poll that I put up on the channel in recent times, along with House of Leaves and Shogun won the vote. So that's the first reading vlog I'm going to be doing, but I will do a reading vlog on this one and House of Leaves as well. But it's a pretty good buy in my opinion. It's just really neat and tidy and pretty much unread. I don't think it's been cracked open at all. So yeah, I like sharing inscriptions with you because I find them really interesting. Okay, we're coming to the tail end of the haul now. Now, something that I picked up recently that I haven't shown you on the channel yet, and this was an incredible deal. We have Facebook Marketplace where people put up things for sale and you just message them to say you're interested, and you go around to their house and you exchange cash for whatever they're selling. Now, I came across a near complete set of Goosebumps, which weighs a ton. Now, you're probably asking how much did I pay for this one. This is worth $60 in the stores. Now, the only hiccup with this is that the lady that was selling it had one book missing, and she sold it to me for $10. So that means that every book, I think, cost about 30 cents or something like that, and they're absolutely sensational quality. I thought even if a book is missing, it doesn't matter. I'll be able to source it on its own at some point in the future. I just thought $10 was a bit of a good deal. So I'm going to show you each individual book now and just show you the cover art. I do have a couple of the older Goosebumps in the Apple imprint versions, but these ones are just nicer, and I won't spend too much time showing you. I'll just flip through them. So we have Welcome to Dead House, we have Stay Out of the Basement, we have Monster Blood, we have Say Cheese and Die, we have The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, Let's Get Invisible, and a few more here, Night of the Living Dummy, Welcome to Camp Nightmare, The Ghost Next Door, The Haunted Mask, and Be Careful What You Wish For, The Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Awesome cover designs. You Can't Scare Me, One Day at Horrorland, Deep Trouble, The Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. That's a really cool cover. Ghost Beach, Return of the Mummy. Great colour usage on these. Night of the Living Dummy 2. A Night in Terror Tower. A Shocker on Shock Street. The Abominable Snowman of Pasadena, How I Got My Shrunken Head, Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, wicked, huh? The Horror at Camp Jelly Jam, and Phantom of the Auditorium. And the last three, we have The Blob That Ate Everyone, Vampire Breath, do you need a mint? And Night of the Living Mummy 3. So they're all really good condition. I love the cover art of the new books, and it was just too good a deal to pass up. Who cares if it was missing one book? I could deal with that later, but you know, $10 for a set of 29 books, it's not too bad. So 29 cents per book, so it worked out pretty well. But that is it, guys. That is it for my book haul. Hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'm always up for a chat if you put any feedback in the comments. But thank you very much for watching, and coming up on the channel, I've got a couple of things. The next review video I've got is for Cormac McCarthy's The Road. Wow, what a book. So I plan to have that out hopefully early next week, and there's another couple of reviews in the pipeline as well. I have, at time of filming this, I have started my Jack Reacher reading project today, and I have started reading Killing Floor while I take a bit of a break from Count of Monte Cristo. I'm currently about 60% through the Count, and it's going okay, but I just needed a break. It's very, very heavy shit, and just wanted to distract myself and read a couple of things in the interim. I've got the whole month to deliver on my review for the Count of Monte Cristo. I was going to do a reading vlog on the book, but because of how I'm feeling about the book, I'm not going to do that. I'm actually just going to do a review at the end of the month, and you know, it'll go into a bit of detail about things, but I've decided not to go ahead with the vlog, but I'll do a review instead. So watch out for that stuff coming up on the channel, and yeah, until the next video, guys, I'll catch you later.